Hello and welcome to Shape Online Classes, Standard 8. Today I'll be taking Unit 4, Supplementary. That is, the name of the lesson is Crossing the River. A very interesting lesson, really very interesting. It is about how scholars versus innocent people. Okay, how learned scholars know, that is, they boast about and they think this, I can do that much, I can do this, I can pray and all that. And how innocent people are against learned, the scholars and the innocent people. This is the contrast shown in this lesson. Okay, first I will tell you about the author of the lesson. His name is Manoj Das. Manoj Das is an award-winning Indian author who writes in Odia and English. In 2000, Manoj Das was awarded with Saraswati Samman. He was awarded Padma Shri in 2001, the fourth highest civilian award in India for his contribution in the field of literature and education. Kendra Sahitya Academy has bestowed its highest award, that is Sahitya Academy Award Fellowship. His deeper quest led him to mysticism, and he had been an inmate of Sri Aurobindo Ashram in Puducherry since 1963. This story, what he is going to narrate here, is about how an innocent milkmaid, a lady in a village, a small story in a village, how innocently she listens to a scholar, that is a Pundit. Okay, let me introduce the characters of this lesson. The characters are the celebrated Pundit, that is the Pujari, we say, no, the Pujari, the learned person. Then a Moti, the name of that milkmaid is, she is a poor milkmaid, she brings milk to that Pundit. So her name is Moti. Okay, so these are only these two, not many characters, just these two. Okay, let's start the lesson, let's start the story. It's very interesting. I want everybody to listen carefully. The celebrated Pundit had many disciples and admirers. Among them was the landlord of the area who lived on the other side of the river. The landlord had commissioned a poor milkmaid, Moti, to supply a tumbler full of milk to the Pundit. Every day in the morning, the milkmaid discharged her duties faithfully, day after day. She crossed the river by the help of a ferry boat and returned home in the same way after delivering the milk at the Pundit's household. Often the Pundit himself received the milk. Moti prostrated before him. Prostrated means she used to lie on his. Okay, that is Moti prostrated before him. What's the meaning of prostrated means? Falling at his feet. No, like elders, you have any this religious leaders and elders, this pujaris, not what we do. We go fall on his to take blessings. Fall on their feet, touch their feet to take their blessings. That's what Moti does. Each time she goes there, she gives the milk and then she falls at his feet and takes his blessings. He did not fail in her duty even if one smoke days it retained heavily. What a great privilege it is to serve a great Pundit, she would tell those toil who would sympathize with her for her continuous toil. So people used to say, oh, you're going every day, crossing the river and going there every day just for a tumbler of milk. But what would you get? No, she'll say, no, I get a lot of blessings from him. I'm honored to do this work. The Pundit was an eloquent speaker. Whenever he gave a discourse, hundreds of people gathered to listen to him. The milkmaid too made it a point to stand behind the audience. Not that she understood much, but she was sure that the Pundit was speaking about God and truth and similar tough and complex matters. How much knowledge the man must be possessing to hold so many people spellbound for hours. Only one who is very near to God and truth can command such wisdom, she thought. She was happy that she made a humble contribution towards the Pundit's physical well-being by regularly supplying him with pure milk. Even if the landlord fails to pay me for the milk and my labor, I will not fail in my duty, she resolved. One day, while receiving the milk, the Pundit told Moti, "Woman, can you bring the milk at the least? an hour before the sunrise for only a month? I am now under a vow for performing a certain ritual which I need the milk that early. I will do as you say, O master, the milkmaid assured him enthusiastically. But the next day, by the time she reached the Pandit's house, it was already daybreak. Pardon me, master, for my lapse, but what could I do? Said the milkmaid apologetically. I was present on the bank of the river long before sunrise, but the boatman did not turn up that early, even though I had informed him of the need for me to cross the river while it was still dark. He said since the rivers are in spate, it would not be possible for him to ply the boat in darkness. That is, spate means, that is, it will be a little high tide. The force of the river will be more. So you won't be able to, and it will be dark also, you won't be able to cross the river. That's the meaning of it. You could not cross the river without the boatman, eh? I wonder how that mystics say that one could cross even the ocean by uttering the name of Vishnu, commented the Pundit jocularly. That is, laughingly he is telling, he is just smiling and laughing to himself, telling that Moti that, why don't you just walk and come? Sure that the poor man would hardly understand the import of this wise observation. So what he said is, why are you waiting for that the boatman to cross you? Why don't you just walk on top of the river and just come? He just he was just joking. But she is a not learned person, illiterate, okay, a very innocent lady. So what will happen? What will be her reaction? Well, sir, nobody had told me that, said Moti in her murmur. That is secret, said the Pundit once again jocularly. What's the meaning of jocularly? Jokingly. Who but a pious and great sage like you would ever know such secrets? Thank you, sir. Passing it on to me, said Moti. See, Moti, so innocently she said, thank you, sir, for telling me this. Like we can walk on the river, no? That concept she has just taken it seriously. She said, thank you, sir, for telling me such a secret to me. The Pandit could not check himself from bursting into laughter, guffaw at the woman's naivety. That means naivety means such an innocent woman she is, and the way she said it, and that made him laugh so much. Okay, days passed. The period of the Pandit's vow came to an end. He told the milkmaid, Moti, I must say that you have served me very well. I appreciate the pain you took in getting up in the small hours and milking the cow and delivering the milk to me at dawn. I bless you. Moti bowed to him. No, sir, from tomorrow I report as soon as after the sunrise. Is that all right? She said. Fine, said the Pandit. And then he remembered the boatman. Moti, he said, tell the boatman how pleased I am with him. Then she said, but sir, I never bothered him, knowing well that he could not come that early, said Moti. Who then plied the boat for you? That means he's asking, then how did you come early? You were just telling, the Pandit was telling that Moti that you just thanked the boatman for bringing you early in the morning. But Moti said, no sir, I did not bother the boatman so early in the morning because first itself he denied, like early morning I cannot come like that. Then he's asking, then who then plied the boat for you? Boat? Why sir? I did not need any boat. How then did you cross the river? Good God, muttered Moti. You, who can remember hundreds of pages of scriptures, forget the secret you passed on to me the other day? What do you mean? Asked the Pandit, intrigued. He was very confused. What is this lady telling me? What does she mean by this? How did she ever cross the river and come and give me the milk? He was very much intrigued. That means he was confused. I just utter the name of Vishnu and walk across the river. The water remains ankle deep for me. Ankle deep? But isn't the river in spate? Isn't it fact that even in the hottest summer, there is enough water in the river for boats to ply? Asked the Pandit. But I apply the secret. Moti was surprised that the Pandit had totally forgotten his own secret formula. I see, he said. So now you remembered, said Moti, feeling happy. From tomorrow I will take recourse to the boat. Let me apply the secret for the last time while returning today. Moti stepped out onto the road. It was a foggy dawn. No doubt the woman was kidding him, concluded the Pundit, and followed her tiptoe. Then afterwards what happened is, after she told that she walked on the river, he was totally confused and he was not believing, ready to believe the lady that she walked on the river. So what he did is, after she finished giving the milk, he just tiptoed. That means he followed. He followed her behind her. Let me see whether she is telling the truth or not. He tiptoed behind her, just slowly walked behind her and came. Upon reaching the river bank, Moti put her empty pot down and with the folded hands paid obeisance to the river. That means she went to the river, put the pot down, prayed, closed her eyes and prayed to Lord Vishnu, telling the god to cross the river. Then picking up the pot, she stepped into the water. Dumbstruck, the Pundit saw her crossing the river, walking with ease. So what he told as a joke, telling her, why are you taking a boat? Why don't you just walk over the river and come? Now she's doing it in real. See the innocence. She innocently called to Lord Vishnu and telling him to please help me cross the river. And Lord Vishnu had truly come down and helped her to cross the river. This, being a learned person, he himself could not cross the river. And see how with ease she was crossing the river. The Pundit almost fainted, looking at the lady crossing the river with such ease, just walking over like a road. While demonstrating the miracle of faith, the story also draws a contrast between scholarship and innocence, between the knowledge which scholarship secures but which remains a mere theory, and the knowledge that works through one's complete faith and surrender to the Lord. Who then plied the boat for you? Boat? Why, sir? I did not need any boat. All these words were ringing in his mind, kept on ringing in his mind, that how did she cross? How did she cross? Then after he finally got to see her with his own eyes, only then he realized that he just gave as a jokingly a secret that she had followed it, and then this is what happened. So this is telling you about how knowledge people and innocent, the contrast between them, and how Mohan Das had brought the contrast and how innocent people, really truly innocent people, those who love God and those who respect others, how God helps them, and that is help her cross the river and to reach on time before the boatman could take her. So this is what the story is about. It's a very nice story for you to learn also. Okay, every lesson has got some advice, some moral advice for you. Hope you will like this story. Read the lesson once. Each time I take the lesson, it is your duty to read the lesson once, okay? Because any questions come there, any small minor questions come, you must be able to answer it, okay? Thank you.